Hilary Duff album Luck or Something. Luck or Something is the sixth studio album by American singer Hilary Duff. It was produced by her husband Matthew Koma. It was the producer on this album. She did take a hiatus from music, and then returned with this album. All right, Eric. Interesting album, I would say. Let's dive into it. What are your initial thoughts on this one? And maybe give some background on like how much Hilary Duff you listened to.
Zero. I just knew she was like a singer just because like growing up, like I knew she was like a movie star, TV star, or whatever.
Mhm.
But and I knew she did some music, but I don't think I've ever listened to a Hilary Duff song
Yeah.
unless somebody can play a famous song and I would know like and say, oh yeah, I actually do remember that. But I don't know any of her other stuff.
Mhm.
I would say it was more of like the Disney slash Family Channel style of music that
Yep.
we would not be into at all.
Yep.
So, but now she's, she's in her late 30s or maybe 40. And
Uh,
so she's older and
38.
wiser. Okay, so she's older and wiser, and maybe she's, learned some things. But so let's start with the album cover. I think this is a trash album cover. I think it's awful. I and I just think it's like you just went into like your grandparents' basement, like with like the
Mm.
semi basements that are
But
like half in the ground and half above the ground, and it's like, oh, like let's just do a picture of this for the thing.
but a certain part of me feels like this sort of album art style is very late 2025 early 2026, because even if you look at the last album Wuthering Heights, Charlie XCX,
Hmm.
it's got that brownish hue, like very like mellow tone
Okay,
to
like the
it.
colors.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
colors of it, like the tones, like the deep, like dark colors of it, it feels like that's sort of the flavor of the day at this current moment. I do agree with you.
Okay.
It's not a great album cover, but I feel like a lot of the albums that are coming out right now look like this.
Interesting.
But even
Okay.
even the Alter Bridge album, right? It was white and black, but it still has that sort of like beige tinge to it.
Hue. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now that being said, like even the Wuthering Heights, I didn't like that one either because it was like just a cheap
Yeah,
thumbnail. It
yeah,
looked
yeah,
like.
yeah.
Um. So this album, uh, where do I start?
Oh no.
Uh, it sounded good, like the quality of sound, the production I felt like was good.
Mhm.
I felt this album sounded too much like she was trying to be Taylor Swift.
Oh, interesting.
Like
Okay.
I just had these like Taylor Swift like sounds to her songs, like especially from like um what's the one that we like? I can't think of the name right now with my sleep deprivation.
Folklore?
Folklore.
Oh, okay.
Folklore. There's some elements of folklore and also elements of like the Tortured Poet Society in
Oh, I
this
see it.
album.
Yeah, yeah, okay,
So
okay.
the other thing I felt is some of these songs sounded like other songs that I've listened to.
Mm.
Um, so The Optimist, which would probably be
The-
my favorite song on the album.
but I
Um,
felt like that was the closest Taylor Swift song I've heard on this
yes,
album.
100%. And it's like, do I like it because it sounds like like Taylor Swift, right?
It like it
I just
literally sounded like it came from Tortured Poets. Like I was like,
it did,
it's
yeah.
like what's going on here?
Mhm. It was just like that song, like, and I like that song, but it did
Mm.
sound like it came from. You're right, the Torturous Poets Society. The other thing I noticed about this album, which was very interesting, and I don't know, I felt like she was doing this just as a wow factor to get people to like, oh my god, I can't believe Hilary Duff said that. But in the song "Roommates," she mentions like giving you head in the car,
Mm.
and I
Yeah, yeah.
touch myself to pornography, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or well, she doesn't say that word; she just says porn. But essentially, like it was like I feel like you just for doing this just because it's like well, Sabrina Carpenter's really sexualizing herself. It seems like to be the thing. So maybe I should add some lyrics in there that's like that. And then like I didn't know whether or not she was married or not either. So her husband producing this album, it was interesting to me because when I listened to this album, the thing that came through my head was, man, it sounds like she's just really sexually frustrated, right? And now, obviously, like I don't know what now that I know that she's married still, and her husband produced this thing. Like it's like, well, where is she writing? Is she just writing these songs just to like because it's like the thing to do, like to talk about these things now? It's the theme.
To a certain extent, I could believe that. But to add on to like the whole more explicit language, like there were f bombs in some of these songs too, and when I heard it, I was like, huh? I thought you were a pop star,
Mhm.
but like, because I think when we were growing up, Hilary Duff was the more, I guess, the squeaky clean pop star is sort of what
Mhm.
the image generally was. And when I listen to this album, it does feel like at very least the lyrics sort of evolved from going from like teenager teen bop lyrics to like at least more adult themes, which I did appreciate because I'm like, "Ah, I'm so glad you didn't just like sing like you're a 13-year-old. Like that would
Yes.
have been horrible."
Yes, it would have been. It's so that is a good positive twist on it, and I have to remind myself that she isn't that squeaky clean
hmm
teenager anymore, right?
hmm
But go on with your point.
But no, I do agree with you. Like there were a lot of elements on this album that I felt were like, is it because it is popular and there's other popular artists who do this already, so that's why you've put this in here? Like there, I felt like there was a lack of authenticity in the album for a lot of parts, but then again I'm like, but it's a pop album, so I don't know how like
Mhm.
how deep it really is supposed to be at the end of the day, especially for a pop artist who is known to just write pop singles or pop songs, which just like
Mhm.
surface level stuff. So like, is it too much to expect this to be like at the level of poetry or at the level of like deep introspection type of stuff, right? So on one hand, I'm like, it was a good enough pop album. I thought it sounded good. On the other hand, I'm like, but it didn't really move the needle in terms of like, I didn't really learn anything about you, right? There was no like
Yeah.
grand message or anything in there for the most part.
No. No, definitely not. I did also think that the album sounded the same, like from start to finish.
Yeah. Yeah, it had the sort of same timbre to it, which was unfortunate. It didn't really like ebb and flow like a nice album usually does.
Mhm.
Yeah, this sort of stayed at the same level for the most part. All right, Eric, I have one question for you that I've been asking everyone I
Yes.
know about this album. The song, the fifth track, "Growing Up." Do you like that song? Do you hate that song, or are you indifferent to that song? And that's the one thing I'm curious about for everyone's opinion. "Growing Up," the fifth track,
I'm just gonna look at the lyrics here quickly just to run through.
because there's a very
Just
specific
so I
reason I am asking for that. Because I've asked
yes,
people,
this one.
I'm asking
It's this one.
people who don't have any background knowledge on the song, and I'm asking people that generally would know the background on this song by just listening
So
to it.
I don't know the background of this
Oh,
song.
okay. This is so interesting. Okay, I do want to know. I do want to know your opinion
Yeah.
specifically on this song, if you like it or not.
So I was you're gonna love this. You're gonna think this is funny. So I am indifferent about this song. Like I don't think
Okay.
I liked it. Like I wasn't a fan. I didn't hate it, but I was
Okay.
just like the line just drinking orange wine. Like where in the world is there orange wine?
I mean,
Like, I would like to know where there is orange wine because that is ridiculous. Because I'm like,
I guess
why orange wine?
maybe it just fit the the syllable scheme. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Okay.
Oh, wait,
What is
hold
your
on.
thing?
I looked it up. Another name for orange wine is skin contact wine. It's
What
an
the hell
X.
is that?
I don't know. I'm gonna look it up.
Skin contact. This is like a myth. It's like turn to page 7.
Skin contact wine, commonly known as orange wine or amber wine, is white wine produced like red wine, where grape juice ferments with seeds, skins, seeds, and sometimes stems for days or months. This process adds texture, savory tannins, and an orange amber hue, yielding complex flavors like apricot, orange peel, and tea. It's a very specific wine, orange wine. There's even a Wikipedia page on it. Interesting.
Very interesting. I like that line really like drilled in my brain because at first I was like, "Who the hell drinks that? This dumb." And then I'm like, maybe orange would be good in wine, like orange elements in like a citrus
Yeah, it's gotta
taste
be.
in a wine
It's
would
gotta be
actually
okay.
be pretty good. So I went from like, "This is dumb" to maybe I'll try it.
Uh,
But
okay. Follow
yes,
up
I
question.
would say I'm indifferent. Like I'm really
Oh,
indifferent to the
you're
song.
indifferent
So
to it. That's so interesting.
yeah.
Okay, so follow up question to that: the melody of the song itself. Did you like the melody, if you can recall, or was it something that you just could like? It was so insignificant that you can't recall it.
Here, let me just listen to the opening again,
Okay.
just so
Yeah,
that
yeah,
it's not.
yeah. Do
And I'm gonna like just
maybe skip to the chorus if you can. Like that probably
okay,
be the most useful, I think.
okay,
Um,
skip to the
but
chorus.
yeah,
Here we
to all the audience members who are listening to this, I do want to know in the comments what you feel about growing up on "Luck or Something" by Hilary Duff. It's track 5, because in my opinion, I think this is the only significant song on this album.
Okay,
Not because it's good or bad, but we will discuss it now that Eric's back. All right, Eric, thoughts?
like it sounded like I would say it just sounded like a copyright from Taylor Swift. That's what I would put my
Okay,
money down
okay,
on.
okay, okay. So it is not technically a copyright. It is a interpolation, which Eric, I know you hate in general, but it is an interpolation of Blink 182's "Damn It."
Oh no, no, no!
The
You're
whole
right.
the whole chorus, the whole chorus is straight up "Damn It" by Blink 182. And when I first heard it,
Oh, that just blew my mind. You're so right. You're so right.
and when I heard that, at first I thought, wow, this is like really cool. You took like a classic Blink 182 song and just like made it something completely different in terms of context. Cause like, Damn It was off of Dude Ranch by Blink 182, a very early album. This is like
Mm,
peak immature Blink 182, just a bunch of clowns. And now you've taken it on your quote unquote mature album, have called it Growing Up instead of Damn It, and have shown that it is a mature sound for you by taking this childish song by this childish
yeah,
band. So in my head, I
yeah.
was like,
Mm,
that's actually pretty smart. And then I thought, but maybe you're
mm,
just playing on the nostalgia factor because, Hilary Duff, technically, there's no new fans of Hilary Duff. It's all fans
no.
that grew up sort of in our time period who potentially were fans of Blink 182. And it's like, maybe it's just a nostalgia thing. And I thought it was less cool after
Yeah, it's the way you explain that. I would be on board with this just because it is like as soon as you said that, I'm like, oh my god, you're right. It is.
that.
Damn it. Now, it is neat that she did it, but what? But if you think like you said at the ladder there, like it is. This album just sounds too like factory. It's
Mm,
like I need to do this because it's what's hip right now. And I think if I do this, it will pull on the nostalgia. Like it just seems like she's just pulling on like every single string she can just to get like traction
mhm,
with the album, which just loses its authenticity, as you
mhm,
said earlier.
mhm. Yeah, and that I think that's the crux of like the issue I have with this album. It's just it does seem like there isn't anything new or authentic about it. I think the lyrics to the most part, I'm glad it isn't that teen bop sort of lyrics that I
Mm,
guess she is known for specifically, because that would have been so weird. Um, so I think lyrically, I'm fine with the album. It's just the music itself does seem like it's sort of stuck in the early 2000s for me.
mm,
Like even tonal, even like the vocal performance, I thought the keys were too high for her. Not that she couldn't hit the notes because it was definitely fine from that perspective, but I thought it was like too trebly. It was a bit too sharp. If she just brought it down a key, I think the songs would have been like a lot more
mm.
soothing, for lack of a better word. Um, but yeah, I don't know. It was for me overall. It was a bit underwhelming. Outside of growing up, I thought that was the only interesting thing that actually made me stop and think about
Mm.
like why would you interpolate "Damn It" by Blink-182? It's like that's a bit cool thing to do. I think.
Yeah, the interplay I'm not really a fan of, but that is pretty unique because I didn't even notice it.
Mm,
So, and I feel like a lot of people won't, especially if they're Blink 182 fans. I feel
mm.
like they won't notice it maybe until like a few listens, and they'll be like, "Wait a minute,
Yeah, yeah,
hang on a second here, right?"
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, it's just I like it'd be cool if that was the case. Like my hat tips off to her if that was the case because
Mm-hmm.
that is a pretty cool anecdote
Yeah,
that you bring up.
yeah. All right. Final thoughts and ratings, Eric. What are you gonna give this one?
I mean, it was just I feel like this album is going to be completely forgettable. And like it sounded good. Like there was nothing wrong with the sound of the songs. It's just been done like all around. All around it's been done. So I'm going to give this a 5 out of 10.
Ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. A 5 out of 10, I think, is a fair score for this. It's like I wouldn't say it's a bad album. I just wouldn't say it's a good album. Um, and yeah, for me, the only interesting thing was growing up on this one, but that was because of the interpolation. I thought that was like pretty cool. But yeah, it's a very typical bubblegum pop record with a more mature lyric set. It wasn't so like frivolous like a lot of 90s and early 2000s pop was. Um, but yeah, I do agree with you. It is a bit forgettable, this album. At the end of the day, it's none of these songs people are gonna remember next year, I feel like. Um, but you know, she's on a world tour now, and her tickets are on sale for $600 resale price, which is messed up.
It is very messed up.
That's messed up.
Well, that's the world we live in today.
Yeah. All right, that was our discussion on "Luck or Something" by Hilary Duff. Grown Up Gaming is gonna enjoy this next one, but the album that we're going to be discussing for next week is the brand new Bruno Mars album, "The Romantic," which I've already listened to it. People will have to
Interesting.
come back next week to get my real thoughts on it.
I
Uh,
think we're gonna have a divide on this album because I actually really like Bruno Mars,
mm.
and so I feel like it's gonna be a clash next week. But I also have to say, yes, Grown Up Gaming is gonna love this next episode. And whenever I think of Bruno Mars, all I think of is Mike Arnone. That's all I think of. So I feel like if he was reincarnated into a musician, it would be Bruno
Oh
Mars.
yeah, 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 for sure. This is
Yeah,
like right up his alley in terms of like
yeah.
what Bruno Mars does. Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
But yeah, that'll be the album we discuss next week. The Romantic by Bruno Mars is his brand new album. Apparently this is like his fifth or fourth album, which is insane.
Really?
Yeah.
I would expect that to be more.
No, he's like in single digits. Like crazy.
Interesting.
Yeah. But anyways, we will do a full recap of that next week. So, anyways, that's it for the podcast. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We're here at twitch.tv/the Crossroads Music Podcast. We'll be back on Wednesday at 10 p.m. ET, 7 p.m. PT. Catch us on Apple Music, Spotify, all the places where you get your podcasts. Thanks for everyone tuning in, and we will catch you all next time.